Hello guys, welcome to another video. Today I have for you the amazing sort of wrap up, but not for this year, not for last year. No, it's actually for 2005. So I just posted a video in which I sort of told you my wrap up, or what would have been, whoa, something happened, or what would have been my wrap up back in 2004. Which is like the first year that I really got into reading. It was many years ago, but whatever. And in 2005, I read quite a lot, actually. I have this book in which I wrote down everything that I read, and I sort of ranked the books as well. Now 9 years or 8 years have gone by, and I take a look at my top list, my ranking, and I seriously question my choices, so I'm not going to present them exactly the way that I ranked them back in 2005, except for the first four books. The top four books I think are pretty well ranked. I think it's still pretty solid and pretty accurate. I still rank them that way. So without further ado, here is what I consider were my favorite books back in 2005, and I'm going to leave the top four for top four for last. So one that I read in 2005 and really enjoyed was this novel. This novel doesn't exist in English that I'm aware of. This is a Spanish translation of a German series, and this is the first book in the series. In Spanish, it's called El Niño del Siglo, which would be the boy of the century. It's about this boy who is born at the first instant of the new century in 1900s, and he has an incredible quest to complete throughout his entire life, and he's going to live 100 years exactly. He has a great mission that he needs to accomplish. Great sort of historical fantasy fiction books. If you can read Spanish, definitely check it out. Back in 2005, even though I was still quite young, I was already delving into some Stephen King. And this year I read The Dead Zone, which is one of my favorite novels by Stephen King. It's about this man who, I think he has an accident and he loses, like, his memory, or, well, he's in a coma, and I don't know exactly what happens, but he wakes up. There's a movie, by the way. He wakes up from the coma and he finds that he has this surprising ability, so as to speak. Check it out. 2005 was also the year that I read His Dark Materials by Philip Pullman, and I'm gonna show you my very battered but beautiful Spanish editions of His Dark Materials. So the first one would be Northern Lights, or The Golden Compass, which is this one. Then the second one is The Subtle Knife. And the third one, which is an amazing book, is The Amber Spyglass. So I don't really know what to say about this series. I don't think that I could really communicate my feelings, my opinion to you. It's just, you have to read it. It's my favorite series of all time, probably, definitely my favorite trilogy of all time. It's one of the most relevant pieces of fiction that I've ever come across, so you really do need to check it out. Then this year I also started The Lord of the Rings, which is not really something that I really enjoyed, but I did enjoy them. They're not like one of my favorite books of all time. But I have the first, The Fellowship of the Ring, and the second one, The Two Towers, on my list this year. I don't know why I didn't read the third one this year, 2005. I probably read it in 2006, but good books. I mean, I have never reread them. I don't think I ever will. I like Tolkien, but he's really not my kind of my kind of writer. And now for the top four books that I think are absolutely perfectly well ranked. So kudos for my 2005 self. At number 4, I have my favorite horror novel of all time, again by Stephen King, and this is Salem's Lot. That's just a creepy cover. Love it. And it's a vampire story, but with a twist. It's just read it. Coming in at number 3 is The Half-Blood Prince, the 6th installment in the Harry Potter series. I would probably rank Harry Potter overall in general as a series as the top 1 read of all time for me. But if I have to rate them individually, I think that Half-Blood Prince would be pretty well ranked here at number 3. At number 2, I have one of my favorite thrillers of all time, The Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown. Say what you want about this book, controversial or not, this is just an incredible thriller. If you've been hesitant and reluctant and you don't know whether you should give it a go or not, or you've heard some great things, but then you've also heard a lot of bad things, you really do need to give yourself the opportunity of amazing yourself with this. Dan Brown, say what you will about him, but he is a hell of a storyteller. And then at number 1, and this is the part where I am really, really, really surprised with my 2005 self, because I did something amazing and I ranked in number 1 what is probably my favorite book of all time, even still today. And that is, get ready, The Neverending Story by Michael Ende, or Michael Ende. This is just the one book that I could say, this is my favorite novel. People always ask me, do you have a favorite book? And usually I say, well, duh, Harry Potter. Or, if I can mention a standalone, it would be The Neverending Story. Even though Harry Potter had a much bigger impact on me because of the amount of years that it spanned and everything, The Neverending Story is that one very particular book that is just, it sums up everything that I like in a book, the writing style, the world building, the characters, the use of language, the fantasy elements, the story, the villain, the protagonist, everything is exactly what I want. It's such a charming, enchanting read. It's an ode to fantasy literature, and yeah, this is number 1. Very soon I will be uploading my top 10 of 2006, which is also pretty exciting. Stay in touch.